What if there was a way to make long-haul flights more comfortable and enjoyable for families? There is, and it's called a Skycouch. But is it worth the price tag? Hi everyone, it's Elle. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. On my channel, I share travel tips and tricks, family vlogs, and honest reviews of products I love. I'm passionate about helping other families have the best travel experience ever. If you're interested in that kind of content, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss another video. In addition to travel content, I also share a lot of day in the life vlogs, recipes, and other lifestyle things. So if you are interested in that, I hope that you find something that you enjoy on my channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing my review and experience flying Air New Zealand, their Skycouch. I want to give you all the information so that you can decide whether or not it's a good option for you and your family. The Air New Zealand Skycouch is a row of 3 seats that convert to a couch or bed. It's really popular with families because it gives you the option of giving your little ones a bed or a place to play that's still contained. The Skycouch is created by flipping up the armrests and the footrests of the 3 seats. This creates a flat surface that is 6 feet long and 5 feet wide. The Skycouch also comes with additional blankets and pillows to make it really comfortable. And there are a few different configurations that you can have. You can either have all of the footrests up to make that big flat surface, or you could choose to have a couple up and leave one down for the person sitting on the end, for example. Families tend to use it as a bed for their little ones to be able to lie down and relax, but also adults might prefer to use a Skycouch to create a really comfortable workspace. The Skycouch is only available on certain Air New Zealand flights, and it's found in the economy cabin of the aircraft. Not every seat on Air New Zealand has the option for the footrest to go up to make that flat surface, so you can't just get lucky and hope that there's an empty row that's available and you can make your own Skycouch, for example. They are specifically labeled Skycouch, and that's how you know that it does have those capabilities. Recently, my husband and I flew with Air New Zealand from New Zealand to the States. We flew Auckland to Houston, and we each had a Skycouch. We have twins who were 18 months old at the time we flew over, and then coming home, we came back from LA to Auckland, flying Air New Zealand Skycouch as well, and the twins were 19 months old. When we started our travels, people did tell me, they warned me that the twins being 18 months old is probably one of the most challenging ages to travel with children ever. And I would believe them, because you have these 2 little toddlers that don't really follow instructions yet, don't really listen, can get really energetic and want a place to be able to kick off all that energy. But because they're not 2 yet, we didn't have to pay for a seat for them, which is a bit of a saving if you don't have to buy a seat for your little one. And plus, they're probably not gonna sit really well anyways, right? Air New Zealand allows families traveling with children under 2 to have priority boarding, which was super handy because we were able to then walk onto the plane before the masses arrived. And that gave us some time to set up, get everything ready. For takeoff, you have to keep the Skycouch as your seats. They can't convert it into a bed just yet, which is a bit tricky because some of these flights happen at nighttime, and it was the twins' bedtime, so they were really overtired, but they did a great job of kind of holding on and waiting. The takeoff process always really calms our twins because it's really loud, there's lots of rocking around, and thankfully they fell asleep. We had 2 different experiences of flying with the Skycouch this time. Our trip over and our trip home were quite different, but before I go into those, last year we also flew with Air New Zealand when the twins were 6 months old. We traveled on our trip over to the States flying premium economy, and we tested out the Bassinets. At 6 months old, the twins kind of just fit comfortably in those bassinets. They are really snug. And thankfully, the Air New Zealand staff on that flight gave us the seats that were in between Dave and I, because traveling with young infants, twin parents know you can't be on the same row together because of oxygen masks. With 4 adults, there's normally only 5 oxygen masks to a row, is what I've been told, generally in most aircrafts. So if you have 2 babies, 1 baby is missing out on that oxygen mask. They're kind of bargaining that there's not going to be 2 infants per row, which understandably I get. But for twin families, it's a bit tricky. So they moved the adults that were in between Dave and I to another row. So it was just 2 adults, 2 babies, enough oxygen masks for all of us. But if they hadn't moved those people and we didn't have the seats available next to us, it would have been so tiring having to hold just a 6-month-old for so many hours because they're wriggly. They're not always calm. And I can tell you that now at 18 months old, if you're traveling just a seat and you have a lap infant, it's gonna be a workout, that's for sure, because they want a place to kind of wriggle around, move about, and it's really difficult for an 18-month-old to do that on your lap. At least ours would find it really difficult to do that. On the way home from that last trip last year, we flew with the Skycouch coming home. The twins couldn't walk or stand, but they were crawling and sitting and rolling, and having the Skycouch for them as a flat surface for them to play with their toys, where their toys weren't dropping off the chair, getting lost, was really nice, and it really helped kind of contain them. The same was true for the twins this trip, being 18 months old. After takeoff, before they were dead to the world asleep, the Skycouch was made into the bed. The team that was flying came up and they set it up for you. So they help you with popping up your seat rest, lifting up your armrest, and they put down a topper across the seat belts. This does help somewhat to make it a bit more comfortable, but it's likely that somebody is going to have a seatbelt digging into their back or side at some point, and that's just unavoidable. They also give you the buckle kit. So if you have a young child like we did, they have a 5-point harness that they ask you to put on your child. The twins are in sleep sacks, so it was a bit awkward making that work. On our flight home, the staff were super chill, and so long as they were mostly buckled in and safe, they were happy. But going over, they were really specific about how they had to be buckled, and that was really difficult because it meant that the twins couldn't sleep as easily. Adults also have to wear their seatbelt overnight. That's one of the recommendations when you're on a Skycouch, but it's just a waist buckle, and there is a buckle place where that buckle goes into, sort of a base. In the Skycouches around us, I noticed a real mix of customers using them. There were couples, 2 adults using them, and honestly, 2 adults together on a Skycouch looked very cozy. You have to be right up, cuddled up, super close to make it work. Mostly it was families with young kids, and there would be a parent who'd be sitting on the chair. There's not a lot of room for 2 kids, especially if they sleep sprawled out starfish style, but it can work. Some of the pros of the Skycouch is that it clearly gives kids so much more space to sleep and play. I found it so much more comfortable than sitting in an economy seat. Although you can't lie out and stretch out completely, you can sleep kind of curled up and tuck your feet in underneath you. It's also relatively affordable compared to the likes of business class, where you can also lie flat. Another pro is that you get the entire row of seats to yourself, so you don't have to worry about being seated next to a stranger, having to ask them to get up so that you can also get out of your seat to go to the bathroom or have a stretch down the aisle, that kind of thing. Some of the cons of the Skycouch is that it can be kind of cramped for adults. The other thing is that because your seat has a footrest at the bottom, you can't tuck your feet up underneath your seat like you can in other seats. So it does get a little bit uncomfortable. I found the most comfortable way to sit was honestly with the Skycouch up and my feet cross-legged, but that means that anything you've put on the floor, like a bag, that kind of thing, is a bit harder to get to. It's just something to note that when you're getting on the plane and you're setting yourself up to put anything that you want to be able to access really easily in the seat pocket in front of you. The big question is Skycouch worth the cost? This will depend on your individual needs and your budget. If you're traveling with young children, then I highly recommend it because it does make your flight so much more comfortable. Personally, I think that 1 adult, 2 children would be pretty snug, but it's workable if that's what your budget allows. If you can have it so that 1 adult and 1 child are together, then that gives you a bit more room that both of you have more of a chance of getting some sleep. If you are planning on traveling with Skycouch, here are some tips to keep in mind. Book your Skycouch in advance as soon as you can because they sell out really, really fast. You don't need to bring your own pillows or blankets. They give you so many. Remember that if you're traveling with young children, they may have to be strapped into the harness, and you may have staff that require you to do it in front of them. So if your child is already asleep, this can be difficult about waking them. So just keep that in mind when you're getting on the flight, that you might have to do that. If you are traveling with a lap infant, pack snacks, lots of snacks. And even if you're not traveling with a lap infant, I still recommend packing snacks. Toddlers love snacks. Take advantage of the extra space to stretch out and enjoy. Honestly, it makes flying long haul that much better. We had a great experience every time our twins had a space to play, sleep. We honestly loved it. And as a bonus, we were able to actually get some rest as well. It was so nice being able to be hands-free for a moment, having my dinner in peace without having to hold one of our twins while they slept beside me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or something that I didn't cover in this video that you're interested in, make sure you leave it in the comments below so that I can answer it. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. I'll see you very soon. Bye!